All right, everybody, it is just another manic Monday in my sewing room today because I have so much stuff going on. Please tell me if you feel the same way today. I forgot I left my little sticker here, and my second song that I'm going to sing for you today is Do You Want to Build a Snowman? With the Brother My Design Center. So we're going to be doing that feature today in My Design Center, and I'm really excited about that. And I was like, the few hours that I have before this, I was like, what are we gonna do? So I'll just go through all of that with y'all because I've been like back and forth, so I'm doing something new now. I'm just going to do my shirt that just so happened to be here, and we're going to use the sticker to tell the machine what orientation that it's going to go in, and it's going to read the sticker. So the machines that have this function are the Brother and Baby Lock equivalents of the Quattro, the Dream Machine, the Stellaire, the 10 needle PR1050X, and the Luminaire. So there's several different Brother machines that have this awesome feature on it. I just so happen to have the Luminaire here today, but for those of you who have those other machines, this will benefit you. So I'm just going to put my little sticker here, and I'm going to prep my fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I haven't picked out what I'm going to do yet because I've changed my mind a million times. I'm gonna put something on my shirt cuff here, maybe like some initials, and I'm gonna use the snowman to straighten it out so that it's like exactly on the line. So I'm going to just take my smallest hoop that I have available. I'm gonna go ahead and iron this and maybe starch it. So and on my ironing board, the Laura Star, there's like these lines, which I love those lines, and I could just get it really straight on there when I'm not trying to cover it up for the camera. So that's that. And yesterday I told y'all I was re-ironing this shirt from when I actually washed this shirt, and I can still smell this starch that I use. It's called Pineapple Grove by Flatter, and it just, like, I can still smell it on there, and it's so nice. So I'm just going to make that really nice and flat for doing embroidery on. And then I'm going to use my clapper from Angela Wolf to flatten it out. So basically what a clapper does is it flattens the material. It kind of like absorbs the heat and helps it like dry, set in place. Not dry, but cool, I guess you could say, in place. So we have that. And another thing that I'm sure some of you are aware of, but I like to ham it up in here, so if you don't have a tailor, is it called a tailor's ham, or it's just called a ham? They come in multiple different sizes, but when you're trying to iron something that's curved, this is a really cool thing to have. So those garment sewers like Carrie, maybe, probably has a few of those at home. Carrie Cunningham is one of our great contributors on our Sew Forum page, which is our, I guess, our community for Allbrands, where customers can speak to each other and ask questions and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm just going to see how this goes. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, we're going to still learn something today from that. But my parents used to always sing me songs whenever I was little. And one of them, whenever I was getting ready for this, it was try a little something new, try a little something different, try a little something no one else has tried. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to take my snowman sticker, and I'm going to put it in the orientations. I'll show this to you here if you can see it. I'm going to take my snowman sticker, and it goes just like a snowman, and I am going to just place it right on those lines because I want my initials to be right on there, right? And I'll probably just do another hack that I do. I have maybe some 505 spray in my drawer that's, when you open it, everything just tumbles out. But I'm never gonna spray this close to my ironing board because it is sticky and kind of nasty. Like it'll get all over your hoop, so just be careful. Use it very sparingly. And I'll tell y'all a little bit more about sticky stabilizers and what you can do a little later on in the video. So if you want to come with me to the sewing machine, we will get this snowman started. So I'm going to bring you over here. All right. And I'm going to just bring you down just a little bit. Alrighty. Oh, and another thing I'm going to show you in this video is, just in case you already know about the snowman feature and use it all the time, I found out a better way to, and we'll show this afterwards, to do the auto stippling around the design. This was my first one that I did. If you can see, like I did a drawing with no line around and then like connected it, but it wasn't like as close as I wanted. And I couldn't really zoom in on that without it like going away. So I found out a better way to do it. And now this is what it looks like. This is my next panel that I just did. And it's so close to the tiger and the tiger's cub. So, and I also did the stitching through my design center on the face and the mane right there. So that's what we're going to do with that. Okay, so we're going to turn on our machine and I'm going to hoop. Oh, it's going to do its calibration first. So let me just tell y'all why I didn't do my original project that I was going to do. So I have yesterday, or Saturday, we did this guy. It was an applique. So I hooped in a sticky back stabilizer this on top, and I'll show you that one on my sample. And I'm embarrassed to show you this, but I think that we'll all learn by looking at this. So I have sticky back stabilizer, which I hooped, I scored, and then I peeled back the edges on. And then I put my applique cutout that has stabilizer, and then it also has the applique fuse behind it. So it's like sticky here and sticky there. And so what was happening, I did my like alignment, but the needle was sticking and it got so gummy that it looked like this. And I want you to be able to see this up close, this needle. Do you see how like at 1100 stitches per minute, how that could cause like major issues? So what I did, and what you can do if you have just one layer of sticky back stabilizer, I know this is probably a little hard to come by right now, but what you do is you take a cotton swab or a Q-tip and you dip it in the alcohol, and I'll show you how well it works. Let's see. Whoops. And you can rub it on that needle, like if you're in the middle of a project, to get that gumminess off of there. And it's not perfect. Like, I really wouldn't use 2 layers of stickiness on the stabilizer again in the future ever, but that will get it off. Like if you're in between thread trimmings and things like that, that will get that off of there. So that's much better, if you can see. And also, like, another maintenance tip, because I've been doing a lot of embroidery just with my my quilt batting on the back. That's like a very fibrous material, and I found like it was really getting in my bobbin case area. So it's really important that you keep this area clean when you're sewing and embroidering. Okay, so back to Snowman. we divert a little bit. So I'm going to put my shirt, first I'm going to let it do its calibration. There we go. And I'm going to put this in here. And I'm not using sticky stabilizer today. But I did use 505 spray, which is also going to gum up your needle over time, so just be careful with that. So I'm going to go to Embroidery, and where's my pen? Oh, it's charging. Okay. So this is my design pen, and we'll be doing a giveaway for this again at the end of the episode today, so just stay tuned. So I'm going to turn on my Design Artist pen. This works on the Brother Luminaire, the PR 1050X. I know it works on those for sure. I think we'll have to check on the Dream Machine, but if you want to check at home, any machine where if you have like a plastic stylus and you touch it, this isn't going to benefit you. But if you have to use your finger, like the heat from your finger to touch the screen, then it will be beneficial for you. So not all Brother Baby Lock screens are heat sensitive. So I guess what you could do to try is to just find one of those like little plastic styluses and rub it on the screen and see if it actually picks up. See, like I'm touching this with plastic and it's not recognizing my finger, or it's not recognizing the plastic. So, okay. We're gonna go into lettering, and I'm just gonna put my initials. So my initials before I got married, believe it or not, my maiden name is Barbara Annette Douthit. So my initials are BAD. So I got married, so now it's Barbara Annette Chatelaine, so BAC is a little bit better. So let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put this in here, and whenever I select that, I'm gonna look at the size here and I'm gonna measure, well, maybe that's a little bit too big. So at this point, you're gonna select large, medium, or small. Look at the size here. So this is 1/2 inch. That's a lot more reasonable. So we're gonna go BAC. Okay, and then we're gonna go to Embroidery. I'm gonna go to Layout, and I'm gonna click the Snowman because I want to scan a snowman. Oh, I forgot. It's gonna tell me I don't recognize it. It doesn't recognize it unless I rotate it. So because the snowman's 90 degrees, I have to at least set my design to 90 degrees before it does like the little micro rotation when it scans the snowman. So I'm gonna go okay, and then I'm gonna click the snowman. Okay, and then it's going to scan it. Do you want to scan a snowman? All right, so you see it's recognizing on the screen. Let me make sure everybody can see that. Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. This is actually really fun for me, and I'm learning a lot in the process too, because you know the best way to learn is to become a teacher of something. So I'm normally in marketing, so I know how to work a camera and the computer, but I also love sewing. But I don't necessarily get to use all of these features all the time. So okay, so it's scanned it, and it asked me to remove my sticker. And what a lot of people do is they just kind of reuse these. So, I mean, just like kind of stick it, you can just stick it there, wherever you want. Okay, so what it did is it's going to make sure, like, even if I didn't hoop my, my cuff, like, say it's like a little bit crooked, it's going to straighten that out. And I should have hooped it way more crooked for y'all, for the benefit, because you don't really see like the micro rotation on there. So let's just do that again. And I'm just going to try to just like rehoop this real quick so that you can see how it does the rotation. And I also was like, oh, let me do a onesie earlier today. And so I had my onesie, I clipped it all out of space, and then whenever I went to go do my scan, it starts scanning like all up in here in the hoop. And you know how like when you have to like clip it in place, like I had to turn my machine off and turn it back on because it, you know. But anyway, that's just a little tip. Maybe not do it on something that's one of those little crazy to hoop items. So here we go. Okay, so that's pretty crooked. All right, so you can hoop crooked and it's okay. Oops, I want you to be crooked, don't be straight. Be crazy. I want to try something new, something different. All right, so if you can see now, that's like way more crooked there. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my snowman sticker back on, and I'm gonna put it kind of this way, like that, and put that on the machine. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and click my snowman again, and it's gonna scan the snowman. So the button may be in a different place on a different Brother machine, but the functionality is the same on all of the models: the Quattro, the Dream Machine, the Luminaire, and the 10 needle. So any machine that has a camera in it has this feature. All right, so it's recognizing, and do you see how now it rotated my design automatically? Cool, right? I love that. And then for further measure, I'm gonna go ahead and scan the background. And I'm just like getting in a habit of this every time because it's like, gives me that extra comfort of knowing that it's gonna, oh, I should have taken off my snowman. Let's try that again. I like to feel confident that whenever I'm about to embroider on my $40 shirt that I don't mess it up. So let's go ahead and scan this again. Let's see, scan. Okay, let's rescan it again so it doesn't show me that big sticker. Yay! Look at that! Can you see that? It's like perfectly on the line, and I didn't have to do it automatically. Oh, it's hard to see. Yes, so if you have the Stellaire, you would have to take the picture with your smart device before putting it on your machine. But the functionality of it is the same. So the means of getting there is a little bit different. But I'm just showing you how the feature works. So hopefully maybe I can get one of those here in the next few days so that I can show the Stellaire, because it has a lot of the same features and functions of the Luminaire. It's just the camera is in your smart device, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can see how it automatically did that. I'm going to go ahead and project it on my fabric, because that's what I do every time, and I love where it is. I think it looks great, really, really do. I'm probably just gonna nudge it down just a little bit so that it's like on the bottom of the line. Okay, so I don't want this in black, obviously. So I'm gonna put my foot up. Let's see. I'll just turn that off. I'll put my foot up. And one thing that I really like about this machine is that you can stage all of your colors up here, all of your knickknacks, your stuff. Like, it's so well thought out. So let's see, what color are we gonna do? Let's do, you know what? Do I want it to be that orientation? Yeah. Okay, so whenever I look at it, it's going to say BAC, right? Because it's for me. It's not for other people to look at. Chime in and tell me which way you think it should go, but we could totally just 90 degree it twice and it will be fine. But I'm going to do it like I'm looking at it, and it'll say BAC because I need to know that I have my own shirt on. Okay, so let's do, we'll just do yellow because I like yellow. Because I was doing bees earlier, which I have a fun story. I live kind of in the country, just right outside the city, and there's a lot of bee farmers here. And there's this one lady that whenever she makes her homemade honey, she puts a sign out by the street that says honey for sale, and you just drive up her driveway, and she has like a little box, and she says put $8 in this little tin and take one honey with you. And so I've been getting my honey from my neighbor, and that's really good for seasonal allergies because when you're eating the local honey, it helps you build up like immunities to pollen and stuff. So yeah, a little fun story. I've been drinking my tea with my lemonade, my iced tea and lemonade, and I've been putting stevia because I'm trying not to drink so much sugar, and a little bit of honey in there, and it's really cool. So, all right. So while that's sewing out, let's do a giveaway for the My Design pen that I was using. It has the small capacitive stylus here that's a lot easier to use than the one that comes with your machine. So if y'all want to start chiming in, I'm going to run to the back of the phone, and the first name that I see is going to win this little pen, and then you can email me your address, message me through Facebook to the Allbrands corporate page, and then we'll get that mailed out to you. So Jessie was our winner on Saturday. So just chime in if you want to be the next one to win this pin. And I think my phone has a delay. All right, so the name that I'm seeing is Nancy. Nancy Winstanley is enjoying the video. So Nancy, please message me your address, and I'll get one of these handy dandy pens shipped to you. All right, so it looks like we're done embroidering, and it's going to make this lovely sound. Dun 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 dun. And we're on the line. Isn't that great? I think this is going to make a comeback, right? Okay, so it's a lot better than my last initials, BAD. So, okay, so next thing I promised to show you is how I did the much better, I think, stippling around a design in the My Design Center with the auto stippling. So I'm going to go, so if you have a different machine, the functionality is going to be the same. So you Stellier folks, you're just going to take your picture, send it to My Design Center. Or if you have a 10 needle or Luminaire or Solaris, you're going to go to My Design Center, and then you're going to click this illustration image scan, and it's going to scan the hoop. And I'm going to try not, because I put the big hoop on it, because this is like I think it's like a 9 or 10 inch square, so I had to use the largest hoop. But my mother has actually been doing a lot of in the hoop quilting, and she uses the dime magnetic snap hoops, and that's just like so much easier because you can do like, you can piece your quilt all together first, and then and then you can move it around on there. And I bet you can use your snowman sticker for alignment on that too. So like say you hoop it crooked and you want it to make sure that it's the same orientation, you're trying to match up pieces, you can use your snowman for that. Okay, so the hacky way of doing it. So before my hack, I was telling everybody to go into the line and then select no line, closed line. But the problem with that is when you zoom in so close, you have to like zoom back out and you can't pick your pen up and move it around without it then closing the design. So I was having to do everything from, let's see if I can make this a little darker for you. I was having to do everything from this size. So it was like I couldn't get my pen, and I didn't have my design artist pen with me either. So I was using this one, and it was just a little tough to get really close. So I have a solution for you. So what I did is I brought in a square. I went into my shapes. So this is your line properties. This is your fill properties. This is your eraser, and this is your shapes here. So I clicked shapes, and it brought open a square. So what I'm going to do, since that square is not the size that I want it to be, I'm going to click size, and I'm going to make it the size of my quilt block. Cool, right? Okay, so I'm going to move it up. Over, maybe make it a little smaller, but it's okay if it's not perfect, because the solution is that you're not going to draw a line, you're just going to fill it in with a stippling and erase what you don't want it to stipple over. So, and that way you can zoom in really close. So, oh, I forgot to do my stippling. So on all my stippling, I've been going to my fill properties, and I've been selecting like the weird ones, because I like the weird ones, the circles. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here, I'm going to select blue because that's my sky, and I'm going to do my paint bucket. So there's a paint bucket for line and there's a paint bucket for fill stitches, and that basically just puts that stitch or that fill in the area that you want it. So I'm going to fill in my square, right? Oh, where did you go? Did I mess something up while I was trying to do that? Let's go back. We're learning, right? I'm going to put my square there. I did. Maybe I messed up my square. Okay, let's see. All right, try again. If you do not succeed, try again, right? Okay. Maybe it was out of my hoop. Who knows? Could be. Who knows? Oh, and I'm going to select my hoop size. Let's see here. Okay, now I'm going to put my fill in there. Oh, why? Oh, it is there. I just couldn't see it because I forgot to lighten. See, we're learning. It was there all along. It was just hiding because my design was so dark on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put it in a medium size. I'm going to take my eraser. I'm going to make it as big as possible because it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But I still like how this thing works. So I'm just going to start erasing the parts that I don't want with my eraser, my handy dandy eraser. And it gets right all up along the edge. And if I want to get really, really technical with it, I can go like up to 800%. I can get really close, like use my panhandle. Why am I want to say panhandle? Use my pan hand, and then I go back to my eraser. So I just switch back and forth, and you can get like right along the edge. So pan hand, erase, pan hand, erase. So the hand kind of works like, say you think your fabric's like this, it's going to move it right, left, up, and down. And then after we get all of this erased, I am going to, let's see here, just erase all that so we can actually see our tiger. Hand, zoom, erase. Hand, zoom, draw. Hand, zoom. That's what you do a lot on this. And also, I learned another trick, which is so cool. Look at this. Like a phone. Oh my gosh, that blew my mind. I was like, I did it on accident, and I was like, what? What just happened? Because it really does. It's like, you can do it just like a phone. I wonder... Yay! So like, you know how I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, mine is blown. I didn't know that you can like put 2 fingers and use that. That's gonna save me so much time. But just be careful if you're in the pen, because you don't want to accidentally draw if it doesn't recognize both of your fingers. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm way too excited about this. Oh, goodness. So back to where we were, I'm just going to erase what I don't want. And then what I can do is, and I zoomed in when I did this. I didn't do it this haphazardly whenever I did that the last time. So the person who's getting this quilt is going to have a few squares that have a lot of space in between it and a few squares that don't. And that's okay, because I made it for them and they better be happy about that, right? So, and then what I can do is, because I don't want to like accidentally think that I erased everything and it not be right. So always make sure to play with these different like lighting. So it's like, look, I have all of this extra here. Like, make sure that you delete that, because that's not going to look good whenever you do your design. And if you're really wanting to do something perfect, go ahead and zoom in and check it too. So yes, isn't that awesome? And then we're going to go to next, and then you can modify your stippling. So I remember now that I like the random shift on 3, and I like the smallest size circles. So I'm going to change the size to small. And voila, there you go. I hope this was helpful for y'all today. I'm really excited that I learned about the little pan with the fingers and the opening and closing it, because, you know, it's so funny. Like, we're so reliant on our phones these days for everything. Sometimes when I look at like a print ad, I will literally like walk up to it and be like, I'll look at it and I'll look at the picture and I can't see it, so I do this with my fingers and I'm like, Barbara, you're crazy. So we're all a little crazy right now because we're a little cooped up, but we're gonna get through this through being creative, crafting and learning, and using this time to be productive and creative and positive. So someone always told me, life is not what happens to you, but it's how you react to it. And that's why I'm so happy that we're using this time to learn more about our machines. And I'm so glad that you came and joined me for that. So thank you so much for joining. We'll be with you again tomorrow at 3:30. Tuning out. Mwah.